Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube Live on our YouTube Live channel for VectorVest Trending Thursday. Glad to see a lot of people are here today so far. Big thing that I want to start off by saying, Joey made a change. I put it straight on you. Joey made a change in the chat, and it came up. The only way that you can start chatting now is you have to be a subscriber to the channel. So I welcome everybody who's here. Thank you so much for being here. But if you do want to comment on what's going on or get questions asked and all that kind of stuff, and at the end, get your stocks in for me to look at the end, you got to subscribe to the channel. We've been pushing that for the longest time, and I think this gives us a tool to be able to say that we want to support those people who are supporting the channel. So if you want to talk, you have to now subscribe to the channel. So if you're typing and it's not coming through, that's the reason why. So, clap one more time. There we go. We do want to support the people who are here. And I'm looking at the people who are here from our jockey club. Alessandro, thank you for being here. Jay says, great idea. Genius. Give Joey a promotion and a raise and a mug. All right. Mug, paycheck, shirt. Mark, what are you talking about?
All the keywords.
You like my shirt? I like my shirt too. This is not my shirt. VectorVest paid for it, so this is a VectorVest shirt. They allow me to wear it, so there you go. So glad for you guys to be here. And again, just a real quick, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Support us so that we can continue to grow. And those right now, the only people who are able to chat are those people who have subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so that when we do our videos, whether it's on our live channel or on our other channel, because we do have two channels, you will be alerted. So when the new stuff comes out, you're able to see it as it comes out. Again, it's a good way for us to support our subscribers is to let you know when we're going to be on. I see a coffee stain on the shirt. Looks like Cafe Booster. I got no coffee stain on I just did the shirt too. Look at the creases. You see the creases on this shirt? I did them. See how the shirt? I did it. All right. I'm a Marine. I'm a Marine veteran, and I know how to iron the heck out of something. Believe you me.
Lean that thing in the corner over there.
I couldn't leave it in the corner. I could. It got a lot of starch in it. On riding side saddle with me is my producer Joey. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There you go. So for those of you who had hit the bell icon, I see you coming in right now because the alert has hit. The alert has hit. All right. So there we go. And I am drinking my Cafe Bustelo, but it's in my Starbucks. Let me see. It's in my Starbucks cup. See that? I'm drinking it out of my Starbucks cup. I love this stainless steel cup. It's an awesome cup.
That, didn't you?
I did. You know, this cup cost me like $30 freaking.
I believe it.
All right, because they did see me coming. Cost me a lot of money, but that's all right. I love the cup. It's a good cup. It's a good small cup. Fits in my car, and it holds my Cafe Bustelo really good. So hold on. Some good coffee. Some good coffee. All right. So those of you who are brand new here, what do we do on Trending Thursday? We talk about stocks making the news. We use the power of the VectorVest system to help analyze those stocks and to help you to make a better decision if the news is right on board and these are stocks to take advantage of, or if they are not. We're going to use a VectorVest watch list. And that watch list, the work is already done for us because that watch list that I've comprised is made up of the stocks and the best stocks with the best combination of value, safety, and timing automatically come to the top of the list. So when you look at all of the stocks that we'll talk about today, you can see in that VectorVest list which stocks have the best combination of value, safety, and timing. All right. With that, we always start off with what's going on in the market. Market's doing some stuff, isn't it? The market was going down. It was going down hard. I put a couple of videos out in regards to if the market was, in a big downfall, and I helped to get you prepared for what the market was offering at the time. Again, on our other channel, we produce a video every night at 6 p.m. Every night at 6 p.m. on our other channel. If you're not on that channel, go check it out because we talk about the topics of the day. Yesterday, we talked about a stock called Neurometrics and the big move that it made. It's made the stories today for Trending Thursday as one of my stocks of interest for the week. You want to make sure you stick around to the end to listen to that segment of my stocks of interest, because I think some of them might be some stocks worth for you making some money. All right, and thank you for that. Drew says, great videos, Glenn, and it's between primarily me and Patrick. Jason does from time to time put up a video as well. He is our crypto connoisseur. But between Patrick and I, we're coming up with a lot of different ideas of stocks that are making news. And we're doing a deeper dive on those videos to give you some more insight. And that's what we do here on our YouTube channel. We help to make you guys better investors, not just look at one stock. All right, there's a lot of people out there that look at just one or two stocks over and over and over. We want to give you diversity. The stock, our database is made up of over 8,800 stocks. We don't want to lock you into just a couple of stocks. All right, and knees to you too. Yasu, that's Greek for hello. And when I sign off, I sign off in a lot of different languages to accommodate our diversity of people who are watching us here on our YouTube channel. Joey pays for his haircuts in Dogecoin. No, that would probably be Patrick. Patrick probably does that with Dogecoin. All right.
Losing money on Doge.
You losing money? Are you still in Doge?
Yeah.
I'm not in. I got out of Doge a long time ago. So, you know, when I look at Joey and say, are you still in Doge? This is what I want to say. Really? Wow. All right. Listen, Joey's his own guy. He does his thing. And,
No, it's worth right now.
you don't want to talk about it?
I said it's not a lot of money, so it's worth right now.
All right.
See if it comes
Are
back.
you sad though?
See if it comes
Are you mad, bro?
back. I'm big mad.
You big mad?
Big
All
mad.
right, Joey's big mad over Doge. You never give an update on Joey's vacation trip. It was a great trip. All right, that's enough update. Now, let's move let's move on. We always talk about what's going on in the market, right? So let's talk about what's moving the market. Now, we all know that inflation is an issue, but Yellen says sees several more months of rapid inflation. See that? Several more months of rapid inflation before easing. Worries about housing impact. So the housing market was rocking and rolling and booming. Wood went up in price. It pulled it back a little bit. But she says she expects prices ultimately will fall back to more normal levels and cited market-based inflation measures as proof that longer-term expectations remain in check. However, she expressed concern about the impact on lower-income home buyers at a time when housing prices are soaring. When did that happen? Before. And didn't we put some price points and checks in place to make sure that this didn't happen again? But this is interesting. Lower income home buyers at a time when prices are soaring. Remember what happened in 2007, 2008, where they were giving out houses to people all over the place who couldn't buy the houses? Is she saying that again? I'm not trying to twist anything. I'm just looking at the verbiage here. I'm just looking at the verbiage, and that makes me a little nervous, right? What else is going on from the world of the economy? Unemployment benefits roll back. So a lot of people, a lot of states are pulling back on the extended unemployment benefits. New applications rise, though. And that catches my attention because there's a lot of jobs out there for a lot of people. But I'm thinking that the people and the jobs don't match up, that maybe people don't want service industry jobs. But you know something? If I've been on this is me personally. This is me talking personally. If I've been on an unemployment and I was getting the benefits and, now the benefits roll back and I'm not getting them, right? I need a job. But we were paying so much more money for the benefits due to the COVID or the pandemic that a lot of people were making a lot more money than even the jobs that are being offered now. At some point in time, though, folks, you got to get off of unemployment, and you got if you're able to work, you got to work. All right, that's my 2 cents in regards to that. The number of Americans receiving jobless payments fell this month to the lowest level since early in the coronavirus pandemic, but first-time applications rose as supply constraints persist in the auto industry. So it's not about the service industry, it's the auto industry. Continuing payments made through all unemployment benefit programs fell by 1.3 million in the week ending on July 3rd to 12.6 million, the labor market said Thursday. That was the lowest level since March 2020, when new programs responding to the pandemic first came online. And that's what the extension of unemployment benefits were for the pandemic. All right, so what else is going on? Those are my 2 main stories on what's going on in the market from a economic standpoint. Let's get into the software though. And I'm going to go to the home page of the VectorVest software. Let's start there. And there we go. So from here, our homepage, we always like to say that it's laid out just like the front page of your local newspaper. And as a subscriber to the VectorVest software, you get this data every day. And this homepage is invaluable. Before I even open up the software to see what stocks are doing or whatever, our market timing picture is right here. So we've got 3 solid days of yellow in the market telling us to be a little bit more cautious. But look at our color guard. VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. We give guidance every single day in the VectorVest software to let you know what's going on. I can look at the advance and declines today on over 8,000 stocks. We've got more stocks going down than going up. But if we look at our quick list of indices, we've got a mixture. Our VectorVest composite is the only index that's down. Remember, that's the indicator that tracks over 8,800 stocks, whereas the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P are all up. Not by a lot, but up nonetheless from the close of business the prior day. But our composite is slightly down. How can that happen? Well, when I look at the Dow, it tracks 30 stocks. The NASDAQ tracks about 4,300 stocks, and the S&P 5 and 100 track 5 and 100 stocks respectively. Our VectorVest composite tracks the movement of over 8,800 stocks. We feel that it is a better representation of the broad market move. So all of the major indices could be up, even though they're slightly up, but our composite can be down because we're looking at the move of more stocks combined here in one ticker symbol. So that is the reason why, as a VectorVest subscriber, you get the value of knowing how many stocks out of 8,800 stocks are actually moving and doing well in the market. All right, so from the homepage perspective, we're telling you to be cautious. We're not telling you to be bullish. We're not telling you to be bearish. But our long-term call is confirmed down call, but our short-term indicator or signal, the primary wave, is up. It has been up for the last couple of days for those people who are more aggressive. I'm going to go over to the graphs tab. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to the viewers tab. In our viewers, this is our watch list of the 18 stocks that we're going to look at today. Remember I told you the power of the VectorVest system when we build a watch list? These stocks are not in here willy-nilly. They are sorted by our master indicator, VST, so the stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing automatically migrate to the top of the list, and the stocks that have the worst combination migrate to the bottom of the list. Now, the 2 indicators that I use for timing the market, for those of you who are VectorVest subscribers, we look at the VVC, or the VectorVest composite. For those of you who are not subscribers to the VectorVest software, I also like to look at the spiders, or the S&P 500. Now, I'm going to right-click, now that I have them both highlighted, and let's go take a look graphically what's going on in the market. You know me, I always like to look at a 3-month graph. Why? Because what happens every 3 months on stocks? Earnings. Earnings is the biggest mover of a market or an economy. So one of the statements that I put out there in our stories is what 3 things move markets globally? Earnings, interest, and inflation. Earnings, we're still early in earnings seasons. More companies are meeting earnings than not. So if earnings are good, that's going to drive a market in a bullish fashion. What else runs the economy or moves economies globally? Interest and inflation. Interest rates are still low, and they're going to stay there until the Fed decides that the market's just too hot and they need to stifle it and slow it down, where they will raise interest rates. Right now, with the low interest rates, they're keeping the economy hot. And the third thing is inflation. Now, inflation and interest rates are the bad guys compared to earnings. Earnings are up. The market's going to be in a bull market scenario. Interest and inflation are the bad guys. Well, we talked about interest. It's still low. Inflation is running hot. The Fed knows it, but they're still willing to let the Fed run hotter because they feel it's transitory because of the job market and now because of the home market and because the auto industry. Those things haven't caught up to inflation, so they're still allowing inflation to run a little hotter. They say that over time, once these things catch up, it will normalize, and then it will be the right time to raise interest rates. At some point in time, we've got to raise interest rates. Glenn, how can I see the trends, advance, declines, and uncharges on graph? VJ, do me a favor, reach out to our product support staff. They'll help you put that graph on your homepage. All right, they'll help you put that graph on your homepage. Crocs was great long earnings play. That stock has been working for a long time. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, John. That's going to be one of my stocks as in stock of interest. All right, so the VectorVest composite over the last couple of days, look at that rebound coming off of a candlestick pattern known as a hammer, possible reversal. It did. Boom, the 3 and the 8. I use 3 and 8 exponential moving averages on every stock that I look at. Why? Because it works. All right. The 3 and the 8 crossed yesterday bullish, but look at the pullback here. So now, what candlestick pattern is possibly represented here? Right here, that red candle. Anybody want to take a stab at what that possibly is? And that could be very interesting after this candlestick pattern is, which is known as a hammer. This one is known as something different. All right, at the top of a pattern, this is found at the bottom of the pattern. What candlestick pattern is that? I'm going to take a sip of my Cafe Bustelo while you answer the question. Now, it's not a hammer when it's at the top of a pattern. It's called a hanging man. So that's a possible reversal already, but it's only 2 days. So I don't know if I really want to call that a hanging man yet. It looks like a hanging man pattern, but it's only 2 days coming off of this low, which was the hammer situation. So possibly, but it's a down day nonetheless. I see the wick at the bottom, though, could show some buying pressure. Volume on the VVC is up there already as well. RT is below 1, so the market still overall is in a downtrend, coming off of these days of the market falling. And the spiders, the S&P 500, look at that. 3 and the 8 crossed yesterday, up day to day in that spiders. And look at that ascending wedge that I saw. I did a video on it just recently on our other YouTube channel. It's still moving up. Watch volume. As the stock is moving up or the market is moving up, volume should be moving as well. Keep your eyes on that. That is a bearish divergence on the spiders. Does that mean that the market's going to crash? I'm not saying that. I'm just looking at what the market is giving me, and I'm reporting it to you to help you to make a better understanding. But the S&P 500 is still rising, not that far off of all session highs. And on the VectorVest composite, though, because we track so many different stocks, it sort of kind of gives us more of the real story of what's going on in the market. All right, so that's the market right now. What does that mean for you? That just means that it's time to be cautious in your stocks, whether you're bullish or bearish. If you're bearish, make sure that after the last couple of days, you have your stops in place. If you're bullish, today is a down day. After the last 2 days, today is a down day. Just manage your trade. So no matter which side of the market you're on, this is a time to be cautious. Tighten the stops on your stocks. Let the stocks come to you. Let the market come to you. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? What do you mean by the other YouTube channel? Daniel, we've got 2 YouTube channels. What we're looking at right here is our YouTube live channel. And we do, if you search for VectorVest, we have a second channel where we do videos every night at 6 p.m. on that channel. Patrick's working on tonight's video, but we talk about a lot of good things that are happening in the market and give you more insight. That is the second channel. Anybody else have any questions in regards to our market timing? Again, in the guidance that I'm giving you by way of VectorVest is that this is a time to be cautious. Make sure you manage the trades that you're in. Mitigate your stops. Mitigate your losses by cutting them. Don't let them run away from you. And don't be greedy on your gains. Don't be greedy on your gains. All right. If there's no more questions, we're going to get to my next story. All right. Let's go there. Web stories. My next story is on EVs. All right. Now look at this. Interesting story. EV stocks. Why Lee, XPEV, Workhorse, RMO, and NEO are riding higher today. And that was a story that was done about a day ago. Investors, and they were rocking and rolling so far this week. Indeed, these early stage high growth EV stocks are ones that benefit from lower bond yields we've seen lately, because when the bond yields are low, people are running into the market because why are you going to buy a bond if you're not going to get an interest back on it, right? Or very small interest. And growth stocks are a place where people go. I am a value player right now with the market in flux as it is. Market's just going higher and higher and higher. I'd rather be in longer term value stocks than growth plays, but growth plays are where the explosions happen. especially if you can find yourself a lower dollar growth play. And there's a lot of them out there. I've done videos on lower dollar growth plays as well. And that's what a lot of these EVs are. All right. With the 10-year yield treasury now trading at 1.3%, hyper growth stocks have once again come into focus. And I've got a search for you YouTubers here on our channel where I've created a search that looks for growth stocks, and I've done a couple of videos on them, but you guys don't watch my growth and value plays that often. So Joey told me not to do those videos anymore because you guys don't want to watch them. I'm trying to make content on the YouTube channel that you'll watch. I've done a couple of videos. I have, right? A couple of videos on growth and value plays. You guys don't want to view them. So I'll just talk about them, but unless you guys are going to watch them, I'm not going to spend the time to do the growth. I want to do the videos that you guys will watch. All right. PRPH is a good stock that we talked about in our live trading room here on VectorVest called the Jockey Club. I tried to get into that stock today, but it kept stalling. But at the end, if you put that in again, Bill, if I get that in, we'll take a look at that stock for you today. Glenn, I love your growth, says Diana. Thank you, Diana. I want to put those videos out there, but you guys, I don't want to put videos that you guys don't want to watch, all right? Additionally, it appears that the bond market has come off its lows at about 1.1, suggesting a deeper COVID-related recession may not be in the cards. Interesting, right? All right, so we're going to take a look at some of these stocks, but some other stories that I have here as well. This is a big story. Elon Musk says Tesla's Superchargers will be available to all electric vehicles, not to just the Tesla cars. That is kind of cool. The move could double the number of fast chargers available to all EV users, something that would otherwise take years to accomplish. I think that that's a big move on Elon's side. Thank you for that, Mark. Way to go. I got a super chat, baby. Mark, way to go, baby. Mark does that. I love that. Thank you so much for that. All right, so on all electric vehicles, which is kind of cool because in China, they've got swap stations. So you can take your battery out and swap it out with another battery. And here in the United States, we're using charging stations. You know, recently I just had a doctor's appointment at the VA. I went to the VA. They've got a section just for electric vehicles where you can plug in your car. Think about it. You go out on vacation, you go to a hotel. Hotels have parking for electric vehicles. Electric vehicles and charging stations are popping up all over the place. And I love this. This is the Superchargers will be available to all electric vehicles. I think that that's really big for Tesla. And these are the stations. All right, these are the stations. So that's a good story on the EV space. Another one on the EV space. How about this? The $20 billion winner of the American EV startup boom, Saudi Arabia, because they made a well-timed bet on Lucid Motors. Ooh, CCIV. Saudi Arabia made a move on it, and look at that. They're making a lot of money on that trade. And I got another one. How about this? GM confirms a third electric pickup ahead of the Hummer production. So GM and Ford are fighting it out. Tesla, we all know the Tesla's the big boy, but GM and Ford are fighting it out for electric vehicles as well. And GM confirms, and the Hummer is going to be electric. You know, that is a weird thing. And a Hummer who wastes so much gas is going to be electric. Think about it. That's really kind of interesting. That brings this whole EV cycle sort of kind of full circle when a vehicle that's looked at that's a gas guzzling hog of a vehicle, it's going to be electric. And so again, GM confirms third pickup. It followed, let me see, GM Monday confirmed they will offer an electric GMC full-size pickup truck, its third such vehicle under a $35 billion investment in EVs. More and more manufacturers, major car manufacturers are committing to EVs. So, you know, it's still in its infancy. I still think that electric vehicles right now, these stocks are still in their infancies, and they're tough to hold sometimes. All right, they're tough to hold sometimes, but as I look at this is still a hot spot. And you know something, what I would look at in this space, if you don't want to choose one of the EVs specifically, I would still look at an ETF called ICLN, iClean. I think that looks at all of it. And there's another one that looks specifically at vehicles called DRIV, Drive. I'm going to put both of those stocks into the chat for you. ICLN, DRIV. I'll put those two in there for you. Those are two stocks, two ETFs in this space to definitely keep an eye on. If nothing else, folks, put those two stocks in your watch list. I'm going to put one more, BLNK, a charging station stock. I've got three stocks that are outside of the stories that we're doing today, because I'm looking out for you, folks. I'm looking out for you. I still think that the EVs are in their infancy, still in their infancy. So how much do you pay to charge your vehicle? You know, Raphael, I don't think that there's a charge for this, but I don't know. You know, that's a great question. I don't know if there's a charge for the stations to charge. Can anybody back me up on that? Can anybody back me up on that? Mohammed says cars, K-R, for RVs, K-A-R-S. I'm going to have to keep my eyes on that. I didn't know about that one. K-A-R-S. Thank you, Mohammed, for that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about ETF for RV. So, Mohammed, I am going to keep my eyes on that, and that could be a third ETF in this space. iClean, DRIV, and possibly KARS. Free for Tesla. Might be a revenue generator for them if they charge for others. Thank you for that, Daniel. I appreciate that. Because that was a question. Nobody's ever asked me about that. How much does it cost to charge your vehicles? I don't know. So, do I have another story? GM was my last story on my EV space. So, let's get back into the software. And let's go take a look at it. So, remember, I told you that these stocks were set up so that the stock that's got the best combination, all right, that there's a combination and the best combination of value, safety, and timing. VT says there is absolutely a charge. Right now, no, but for sure it will. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. And you know something? I might have to do some cost analysis on the charging perspective for these cars, because is it expensive? Is it more expensive than having a gas vehicle? I don't know. I don't know. All right, I don't know. So I know you're charging. Wow, you're charging your card. Get it? Wow. Did you get it? Is there a charge? VT, that was kind of funny. I'm going to just say that was kind of funny. All right. So my stocks that I'm looking for in this space, Lee Motors. All right. What else? I'm looking for Tesla. Notice where these stocks stand in my list of 18 stocks. Tesla, out of these stocks, is the number one stock in this space right now. What else is in here? XPEV is in here. GM is in here. Workhorse is in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I didn't put on the other three. iClean, ICLN, DRIV, and I am going to look up KARS. Bada boom. There you go, VT. Half that of gas for the distance, says Bill. So for the price of charging. All right. So let's take a look at these cars. These are and I still believe overall, let me right click on them. I still believe overall that the EV space is still in its infancy. And you know what I want to do? I normally look at a 3-month graph, but I'm going to put these on a 1-year graph to get a better view. All right. Look at when they were running October 2020, they was running, they pulled back. They are not back at their session highs for the year, but definitely a nice run more recently. I'm put it back on a 3-month view. I like it better on 3. It gives me more of a view. Notice that the last time I talked about it, I showed the downtrend on Lee Motors. What has happened with that? The downtrend has been broken. Could this be a good opportunity to get in off of this level of support? Possibly. Why? Let's go look at that level of support. Pulled back to that level of support. Was a good level of resistance back here. Look at this. Beautiful level of resistance at 28.69. Bounce. The 3 and the 8 crossed yesterday. I wouldn't buy today because it's a down day, but I like the setup. Big volume yesterday, not as much volume today. I like the setup. The 3 and the 8 just crossed off of the bounce off support. This could be a good play as long as you play it when the stock is rising. Next one. Tesla, the big boy, right now sitting in a channel, folks, between a level of resistance at 696.18 and a level of support at 622. Overall in the channel, this is a 3-month graph off of its 3 months high, but I'd like to see the 3.8 cross positive and break through this level of 696.18. Next one, XPEV, also sitting in a little bit of a channel between that level high of the 3 months and a level low of about 38.52. I like the setup again, though. Look at the bounce off of support. Look at the bounce off of support. Look at the 3.8 cross 2 days ago. Little indecision going into today. I like the pick as long as I buy on an up day. I got a profit target sitting right now off of the 3-month high of about 47.98. All right, let's go to the next stock in the list. GM, not as much. GM, not as much. And this is the reason why we do this here on Trending Thursday. The news is one thing. Right? The news is one thing, but what does the graph tell me? And the reason why I like a graph is because a picture's worth 1,000 words. Look at that. My 1,000 words are saying I'm not liking GM right now. I'm not liking GM right now. The 3 and the 8 are still bearish. Look at the bounce right here. It never turned positive. It never turned positive, and it's a down day. I definitely would like to see GM break above that level of the resistance line that I do. I don't see Trending Thursday watch list. All right. Bye again. Got to go to swing trading. Hey, see you in these. Have a good day. Nectarios, that's correct, right? I'm thinking. Like the double bottom candle on, you like the double bottom candle on Tesla. I'm not calling that a double bottom. I'm calling that higher low. I will look at that. Let's connect the lows here. Look at that. Look at that. I don't call it a double bottom, but I will call it a higher low. I call it an upward trend line on Tesla. I will call it an upward trend line. It's still above it, even though the 3 and 8 are negative. I won't call that a double bottom. All right, on a 3-month graph, that's an upward trend, and it did break down below. It did break down below, but still remained. It closed above. Tesla overall is still in an uptrend. Ooh, look at that. That could be some sort of a pennant. This could be the pole, the flagpole. Oh, this could be setting up nicely, folks. All right, definitely want to see the stock break through that level of resistance, though. Workhorse, same kind of scenario. Now, that I will call almost a triple top. And look at what happened. Workhorse went down and still going down. I'm not feeling Workhorse. As you see, there's a couple of other stocks in this space I do like. I'm not feeling Workhorse right now, and those are my EV stocks that I'm looking at. Which ones would I like the most? I like Tesla and Lee. I like Lee. I like Lee the most because that was the graph that I liked the most, right? That was the graph that I liked the most. And look at that bounce off support 3.8 cross out of all of these stocks. And you don't have to wonder why this stock is amongst the leaders at the top by way of our master indicator, value, safety, and timing. Bill says, it would be great if you could find a thorium molten salt electrical generation stock. Anyone researching the future of TMSR? Oh, I don't know anything about it. You know, if it's a good story, Bill, I might make it a video. All right, I might make it a video. I'll take a look at it. What about NEO? NEO wasn't in the list. I can add it real quick. Let's go see where it sits first. That's the beauty of having the VectorVest software. Where does NEO sit? Look at that towards the bottom third of the page. All right, let's go take a look at its graph real quick. All right. Remember, I didn't look at all of the stocks. I do like NEOs like Lee. Look at the bounce off support. Look at the 3 and the 8. So now there's 2 stocks in this space that I do like, and that is NEO now and Lee. 2 of the stocks in this space that are setting up nicely. I wouldn't buy today because it's a down day. I like the 3.8 crossover, but I'd like to buy on an up day. Any other questions? Good. Thank you for that, Mukesh. Thank you for that. All right, give you a couple of seconds because there is a delay to see if you have any questions about my EV stocks. See if you got any questions about my EV stocks. If you don't, I'm going to move on to the next story, which happens to be about coronavirus. All right, let's keep it moving, folks. Let's keep it moving. Get to my next story. Let me move that one over. That's the one I want to look at. The Delta variant behind behind more than 80% of U.S. cases. Vaccines still highly effective. Vaccines still highly effective. I happen to be one of the lucky people. I think Joey and I both, yes? I know me. I'll talk about me specifically, who did not catch COVID-19. All right? And I am fully vaccinated nonetheless. And it's good to hear the stories that the vaccines are still highly effective. Now, if you believe him or don't believe him, because that's another whole side of the equation, is irrelevant. I am looking at the people, for the most part, who are getting sick off of the Delta variant. I think the numbers show that majority of those people are people who are not vaccinated at all. Now, that's what I see. Unless I can get other data that tells me something different, I'm going to believe that. I have no other choice because I'm not a doctor. All right? I'm not a doctor. All right? So I'm just putting that out there. The vaccines are still effective. If you feel you want to get vaccinated, you do. If you don't, you don't. That's up to you. So it's good to see that the vaccines are still highly effective. And another thing, Tonex. How many of you have seen my Tonex videos? I've done a lot of videos on Tonex specifically because of their research in fibromyalgia. And as a matter of fact, I just did a video, my last video, which was what? Wednesday? Was it last night? This video must have been Monday. It was my Monday video, was looking at other fibromyalgia stocks, of one of which we're going to talk about today. But Tonex is going, not only do they have a drug in the pipeline for fibromyalgia, but Tonex Pharmaceuticals to develop a therapeutic to treat long COVID syndrome. And the thing is, what is it? Dr. Lederman says Tonex plans to meet with the FDA in the third quarter of 2021, which is now, between July and September. They're going to meet for a potential phase 2 pivotal study for long COVID. So I like now COVID for 2 reasons. I don't like COVID. I like Tonex for 2 reasons. I've been very bullish on them with their studies for fibromyalgia, which they are in midterm phase 3. And now they're aggressively going after COVID. Now, there's a lot of stocks, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals out there that are going after the vaccine. We've only got 2 right now that are active, and 1 that was active that was pulled back. We've got Pfizer, Moderna. We did have AstraZeneca. We did have Johnson & Johnson, but they had some complications. And AstraZeneca, to me, was going to be the next one, but they were having complications. But now Tonex is going to be in the funnel as one of the stocks going after the COVID variant as well. Why can't I see your charts? Kinch, I don't have any charts up yet. I will in a second. All right, so those are my stories. No, I got one more. And this is on a stock that's been rocking and rolling. Actually, I'm not ready to pull up that story yet. That one is going to come up later. Let's go back to my Tonex story. I got another stock looking at the COVID vaccine as well. You got to stay for that. That's one of my stocks of interest. All right, let's go take a look at these stocks, these virus stocks on our list. Ooh, what's at the top of the list? Moderna. For anyone who's been watching me on our streaming channel or wherever, Moderna's been my stock of choice since COVID vaccines came out. And the reason why is because the stock at the time was a lower dollar stock that was undervalued, which is sometimes very unheard of when it comes down to pharmaceutical stocks. So it was an undervalued stock that had great relative value, great upside potential. And that's why Moderna over this time has been one of my favorite stocks in the COVID space. What else is in the COVID space? Let's go down the list. There's Pfizer. And then the last stock, I've only got 3 that I'm looking at today, is Tonex. Look at where it sits. Now, this is a lower dollar stock in the pharmaceutical space that is overvalued with an RV not above 1. Pfizer, on the other hand, is undervalued like Moderna with a good upside potential with relative value at 1.43. Now, if I look at all 3 stocks, I can see where they sit in the list. And again, that's the power of looking at a VectorVest watch list. These stocks are just not put in here and willy-nilly. They are automatically sorted to the stock with the best combination of value, safety, timing by way of our master indicator VST at the top of the list. Let's take a look at these 3 stocks. We looked at their stories. Now let's take a look at their graphs. Wow, look at Moderna. Bada bing, bada boom. That looks like a plane taking off and rocking and rolling. Look at that. Bottom left, top right. Love the RT. Volume more recently is there. Can you add Novavax and BNTX? I can do that real quick. But Moderna out of the 3 are there. Is that really a cup and a handle? The cup there, handle, and take off? Could be. But I like this stock. I cannot lie. If I'm new to the program, look at the 3 and the 8 doing a really good job keeping me in this stock in the long term. If I'm not in it yet, I'd like to see the stock take out the high. If I'm in it, I'm a happy camper. All right, what else? Pfizer, a little bit more of a channel, but just broke out of the channel. Look at the 3 and the 8 bouncing off of support. Running, still going. If I'm not in the stock yet, I'd like to take out that high, but if I'm currently in it, leave it alone. And the last one is Tonex. This is a tough stock. Now, what I do like about the stock that I did on my video on Monday, it's coming off support, the 3 and the 8 cross. Today would not be the day I would buy. This is almost a dark cloud cover pattern. It nearly needed to close lower than halfway through this candle. I'm not going to quite call it a dark cloud cover, but it is a down day. Even with the down day, the 3 and the 8 are still bullish. I like the bounce. Here's a little hammer formation, possible reversal. I'm getting a little bit of it. I need some confirmation to move higher than this candle before I jump on board. Now, the question was, can I add, let's go add BNTX. Oops, BNTX, comma, what was the other one? I just saw it. And Novavax, NVAX. I can add those 2. And let's take a look at them as well. Let's see where they sit in the list. Novavax towards the top of the list and BNTX toward the top of the list as well. I like those picks from that perspective, that by way of VST, they already migrated to the top of the list. So Muhammad, just from that looks good. Without even looking at a graph, that looks good by way of VST. Let's right click. Let's view the stock graph. Let's take a look at them. Not bottom left to top right, a little bit more choppy, definitely in a channel for Novavax right now. I like the 3 and the 8 coming bullish. I'd like to see the stock take out that level of resistance at 229.50. Stock recently went from in a downtrend to an uptrend. And on BioNTech, that's Pfizer and BioNTech's vaccine is together. BioNTech looks great. Look at that. That looks great. I'm not calling that parabolic just yet. That's steady. I'm still not calling that parabolic yet. Nice looking equity curve, bouncing off support, 3-8 cross, boom. I like them. Good call on that. Good call on that. Masks should stay mandatory. Good way to keep from catching a cold. I agree. You know something? We're getting a lot less colds and flu this year, right? With the mask mandate, we are catching a lot less cold and flu this year. So that's just something I'm just bringing that up. All right, any other questions on my coronavirus stocks? Supercharging on Tesla, free under certain circumstances. Thank you for that, Frank. Are you the Frank Thomas that the baseball and the new Genix commercial? Because she's going to like it too. I like that. Wow, you don't like that commercial?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not the same Frank Thomas.
it's not the Frank saying. It could have been. How do you know? How do you know? You don't think?
Because Frank spells his with the capital F.
All right. I'm just saying it could be Frank Thomas. Anyway. MRA got added to the S&P 500. I forgot about that too. They did, and that helped to bolster it. Even without the addition into the S&P 500, it still would have been at the top of the list because it has been that way, Mohammed, for a minute. All right, for a minute. All right. So, any questions on my coronavirus stocks as I take some more of my Cafe Bustelo? Was that thunder?
It sounded like it.
Well, we could be having some thunder going on. All right, no questions. Let's get to my next story. This is going to be an interesting story. Why? Because these are all the stocks that have... you don't think so? Is it sunny outside? Oh, okay. Earnings. We're still early in earnings season. So for the week, I looked at some of the stocks that either hit or missed earnings. Here's IBM. IBM shows strongest revenue growth in 3 years. You know, tech stocks are on the move again. I'm looking at stocks like Apple. I'm looking at NVIDIA, AMD. Maybe not AMD as much or NVIDIA as much. But tech stocks are on the rise again. IBM, Intel. Intel has earnings coming out if it didn't already. So I'm looking at that. So they beat. That's good. Let's go take a look at the graphs in a second. Verizon. Verizon strong economy boosted earnings, 5G adoption going faster than expected. You know why the 5G adoption is happening faster than expected? Because of the possible infrastructure bill. One of the parts of the infrastructure bill is incorporating 5G into more areas. All right, so I'm thinking that 5G has a great opportunity if the infrastructure bill goes through. You know they're going to fight about it because that's our Congress. That's what we do. They're going to fight about it. And if it goes through, I've got an infrastructure watch list that's already set up in the program for you. If you are a subscriber to the VectorVest software, there is a watch list under special watch lists called infrastructure stocks. I put that to our data team. They put it in. So for you guys, there are stocks, 5G stocks. Some 5G stocks are in there. Glenn, with low BSR, I am thinking we have room for the market to take off again. We'll take a look at that in a moment, John. All right. So, what was that? Verizon beat Chipotle. You know what's interesting about Chipotle? It's a fast food place. Do you know how expensive that stock is? That stock is stupid, crazy expensive, and they serve burritos. How does that happen? All right, but they beat earnings, but higher beef and freight costs will eat up menu prices. It will eat up menu price hikes. So I'm thinking that is good. You know me, I love me some. Where did we go today?
One loco.
One local. We got a local place here that's sort of like a Chipotle. I like it. It's some good. It make you full.
Those for $10 burritos.
Were they $10 burritos? Dang. That's why I paid so much for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Were they really $10 burritos?
Yeah.
They were good though. I had a surf and turf burrito. It was slamming. Ooh-wee. And my wife packed lunch for me too. So this is why it takes a lot to maintain this. See this? You see this? It takes a lot to maintain this. Yeah, they all want to see that. If y'all didn't want to see that, type in the room. You didn't want to see that. Listen, that it takes a lot for that. Burritos, you make me laugh, bro. Listen, I love me some burritos. Believe you me. All right, but Chipotle beat earnings, but they're letting you know that prices are going to go up because of higher beef prices and freight costs. Look at this. Domino's, another fast food place, climbs 11% on earnings beat. Strong pizza demand in U.S. Do you think that, hey, how often do you eat pizza?
Once a week.
Stop eating so much pizza. It makes you fat. All right, so I don't want to eat a lot of pizza too, but man, people still are ordering pizza. Well, that's a different story. The kids love pizza. Why? Because it's simple and easy. All right, so but Domino's stock climbs 11% on earnings beat. Reported 3.5% same-store sales growth in the United States. All right, so man, that's a big one right there. Crocs. I hate the way their shoes look, but Crocs reports record revenue. Do you own a pair of Crocs?
No.
I don't own them either. Steve does, though. Todd loves his too. Todd and Steve both have Crocs. Raises full year guidance despite supply chain disruptions. Crocs is just doing it. There's nothing but Crocs is doing it and doing it and doing it well. Holy smokes. And who else beat? How about Netflix? Missed. How about Netflix? Missed. So Netflix is one of the big FANG stocks, and they are the ones that got beat smack down 4%, but analysts still see blue skies. Listen, Netflix is all subscriber base. You know, we're sort of like us. VectorVest is all subscriber base, right? Netflix is losing folks, so they missed. Takes its biggest one-day hit in months, and that was today's story. That was yesterday. All right. Subscriber additions, 1.54, topped the company's fairly lowball guidance of 1.1, but a forecast of 3.5. They forecast. Wow. That's a big drop in what they were forecasting. Net adds to the current quarter, again, short of observers' expectation of 5.86 million. That's a big number. But So they missed. All right, so let's go take a look at those stocks. Let's go peep them out. Let's go back to my VectorVest. What am I in? VV program. Am I in the right one? Yeah. All right, let's go take a look at them. So what was the first one? IBM. Where's it at? Ooh, look at where it's at in the list. Verizon. Ooh, look at where it's at in the list. Domino's Pizza. Ooh, it's a little higher in the list. Crocs. Ooh, much higher in the list. Netflix, about the middle of the list. And Chipotle. There it is. So again, I like this watch list perspective, and I don't think I talk enough about it. This watch list perspective really shows you, out of the stocks and the stories that I'm looking at, which stocks automatically you should migrate to, because they are sorted by our master indicator. Nobody else does this, folks. All right, and this is the kind of information that you're getting on our YouTube channel. This is why you got to share this stuff out there with a lot of people, so they know what's going on. So this is where they all sit. Crocs, undervalued. Domino's, overvalued. CMG, look at that, trading at almost $1,800. That's a fast, but that's some crazy burrito, man. Holy smokes. Netflix, overvalued. IBM, a little bit overvalued. Verizon, fairly valued. Which ones have best upside potential? Crocs. Look at that relative value at 1.68. Should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 68%. Netflix should outperform that AAA corporate bond by 48%. Chipotle should outperform that AAA corporate bond by 9%. Domino's by 21%. All of them have good upside with the exception of IBM. They're not all safe by relative safety. Netflix, though, has a safety of 1.24. Domino's of 1.27. Chipotle 1.15, and Crocs 1.23, all cast on a scale between 0 and 2. All right, let's go take a look at their graphs. Which ones do you like? Out of these, IBM beat, but look at this. Even if, let's go put on the earnings play. When did it happen? Interesting. Why did it not show me? Did IBM not do earnings yet? It should have. It should have been reported. There it is. There's the earnings. It happened on 7/19. They beat. The stock's price went up, made the 3.8 cross. Today wouldn't be the day to buy because it's going down, but I like the bounce off support, and I like the 3.8 cross. I'd wait to make sure that I buy on an up day. What else? Verizon beat. But even with the earnings beat, look at that. The stock's price didn't respond. Still sitting in a little bit of a channel. I need the stock to get out of its own way. Let me draw a line here. I need it to break out of this level about 57, 58. And I know it's at 55. Let it get out of this level, get some fresh air, just like in NASCAR. Let it get out into the clean air before the stock starts to take off. Domino's, big move on Domino's. The earnings must have just come out today. Big move. I like the graph, though. Prior to earnings, look at the graph. Bottom left, top right. I like that stock. I cannot lie. I am going to anticipate some profit taking, though. All right, the stock's price closed before earnings at a price of $470.37. It went up to a high today of 5.4. That's going to be some profit taking. There's no doubt in my mind that there's definitely going to be some profit taken on that. All right, we need a Brazilian steakhouse around as fast food. What do we got? We got Chima. We got another one.
I've only been to Chima.
There's another one that I've been to. I don't remember the name of it. I love Brazilian steakhouses. You know something? The secret to eating there is you can't eat for a week. You can't eat for a week, so you go there nice and after you leave there, you can't eat for another week. But Brazilian steakhouses are amazing. Glenn hates Crocs. He probably tolerates it because of Steve. Let me tell you, I don't like Crocs. I don't like the shoes, but the stock is amazing. There it is. Bottom left, top right. Little indecision going on today, but coming off that level of support. Nice earnings, 3.8 cross. You can't fight the tape. All right, you can't fight the tape. As much as I don't like the shoes, you can't fight the tape. And if I put earnings per share on this, look at the rising earnings. Look at the rising earnings. Change the type to area. Look at that. You can't beat that. All right, let's go back to let's go to the next one. Look at this. Netflix. Earnings, they missed. They got hit. But look at still rising earnings overall. The stock is not the right time to buy. I think it's news driven because of earnings. I don't like it right now. If I was in it, I'd wait when the 3.8 crossed on this date on 7/16. I probably would have gotten out and taken my profit. That way I would not be experiencing this pullback right now. If you're still in the stock, I got you a line in the sand sitting at about 502.57. If Netflix falls below that, that's probably a good time to take that stock off the table, or at least half of it. Look at that. Look at Chipotle. Look at the earnings per share. Good googly moogly, folks. Love that stock. And they makes burritos. All right. And look, it's $1,700. Good gravy. But the stock is kicking butt and taking names above the average volume for the last 3 days. Anybody got any questions on my earnings plays? And I think that while earnings season is still going on right now, every week I'm going to show you what stocks meet, what stocks beat and what stocks didn't beat earnings. All right, I think we need to do that. We need to do that. All right, Clyde, hold off on that stock when I give you the opportunity to look at. Oh, that's what I needed. That's another one that I needed. So we'll get that. All right. So, any questions on my earnings plays? Some of these are good plays still, folks. They beat earnings. Netflix didn't beat, and it's showing in the stock's price. But some of these that beat are still opportunities. They are still opportunities. All right, let me take another sip of coffee before I get an opportunity to if you got any questions about my my plays here. Can we see VV company earnings list dates? Yeah, we can. If we stay in the viewers tab, all right, down here we have, scroll down. Huh?
Specific earnings, isn't it, or no?
Oh, we can.
See VectorVest.
Hold on. No, can we see VectorVest company earnings list dates? Yes. Here's our dates for all of the earnings. This is dividends. Here's all of the earnings that are coming out today. On July 22nd. Here they all are. All right. And it's in our events viewer. Events viewer. Now, if you want to look at a specific stock, let's do this. Filter by stocks. Give me a stock. I'll give you a stock. Apple. AAPL. I click that in. July 27th was the last earnings date. July 27th. But if I take this out in time, let me see if it'll give up another date. Nope, it won't. You know why it won't give me another date? Anybody want to give a reason why I don't see the next earnings date for Apple? All right, I'm just curious to know. Does anybody know why you don't see the next earnings date for Apple yet? Anybody want to give an answer? Anybody want to give an answer? I'll give you about 10 seconds to see if anybody has an answer to why. And I'm all the way out to 7/22 of 2022. Does anybody know why I don't see a next earnings date? The answer to your question, John, no. It'll just show the day. It will not show the time, whether it's before or after the market close. All right, nobody answered. The reason why we don't have the next earnings date for Apple is because they haven't said it yet. Earnings date column, what? Nope. Earnings date column, yes, and I'll show you how to find that. Because we are not at 20, and the reason only store the date, you only store one date for earnings. Probably yes, but they have to announce. Thank you for that, Joseph. They haven't declared earnings. So, right, I don't have earnings yet. Now, someone asked the question about earnings. There is a way to get that to show up, but you have to have another tool as an add-on module. Portfolios, let me see, my portfolios. I want to see something here. Nothing's in there. In a portfolio, if I have Profit Locker Pro, I can go down to layout and I can add earnings date in a portfolio. Let me move that up to the purchase date. All right, purchase date. Did it not show? There it is. In a portfolio, if I'm tracking a portfolio of stocks and I have the Profit Locker Pro, I can see the earnings dates for all of the stocks that I have. Not everybody knows that. All right, especially in my VectorVest family, not everybody knows that, but I can see the earnings date listed in stocks that I track in a portfolio. All right. So I know that's outside the realm of what I normally do here, but that was a good enough question that you want to know, but you have to have Profit Locker Pro to do it. All right. You can also see earnings in a portfolio. You can search on earnings. Yeah. So there it is. There's the portfolio. I do have the earnings there. And the other thing that I was in the earnings event viewer. All right. Let's go back to my watch list viewer, 722. Where am I at? 7. My last segment that I have today is stocks of interest. All right. Let me go bring up my stories for that. My last stories today, stocks of interest. Robinhood's coming out. Hey, let's go to web stories. Robinhood's coming out.
Why you say it like that?
Hey, I don't know. Hey, I don't know how I feel about it. I have a Robinhood account. I don't know how I feel about it. Hey, tell me, are you guys excited about the Robinhood IPO? Type it in the room. Robinhood expects IPO to value trading app at about $33 billion. A valuation less than $40 billion or more previously expected from offering, which is likely to raise about $2 billion. All right. I hear you. Underbelly Group says, I can't stand Robinhood. This is why I think Joey says that I needed to talk about this, and I'm with that because it's going to be big news. But I'm thinking that a lot of people have a bitter taste in their mouth about Robinhood. Not everybody. There you go. I just wanted to know. As you can see the chat that's coming in about it. I hear you. I don't, I'm not, it is what it is. Yes, but I'll wait for it. And listen, I've learned one thing about IPOs. I never buy an IPO when it just IPOs. Let the stock show me that it can make some money first. I've seen that time and time again. And you buy on all the buzz and you get your butt kicked to the east, to the west, the south, and the north. All right. So let it IPO, let it do what it does. All right. So that's one of my stocks of interest. This is another one. Neurometrics. We talked about this in the Jockey Club. A good stock that's going after Neurometrics shorts 50%. That's today. Yesterday was up in excess of about 125%. And they reported earnings today. Over 60% rise in second quarter revenue, helped by the strength of its DPN, check, and Quell businesses. So they came out with a device, and I don't know if it was accidental or not, but they came out with a device going towards fibromyalgia as well, a wearable neurostimulator thing to help with the pain of fibromyalgia. Again, I did a video on it. When was that? Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
That one was a yesterday video. You guys need to go check that out. And I talked about other stocks in that space for fibromyalgia as well. All right, so not only did the stock go up prior to earnings, but earnings, the stock's price is still going up. And the last stock I want to look at is...
I dropped that link in the chat for...
for the video? There you go. If you haven't seen the video on the neurometrics, Joey put the link in the chat for you guys. All right. He put the link in the chat. So many people I know bought coin and on the IPO. I won't touch IPOs. Yeah. Me and Joey did too. I went and bought coin like an idiot. I'm not calling myself an idiot. Yeah, I'm calling myself an idiot. I know better than to buy an IPO. I know better, and I did it, and I got smoked like a pound of bacon. All right, and then Joey, I said, let me hear you squeal, and Joey said, squeal, and then he looked at me, and he did this. All right, so anyway, ChemBio Diagnostics bags a $28.3 million order for SARS-CoV-2 antigen test from Brazil. That's huge. Antigen test to see if you had COVID-19. So those are my 3 stocks of interest. Take a look at them. Hood I don't have yet, but my other 2 I do. Where are they? I got to switch my scene too. Yeah. All right. Let's go see which 2. I was looking at Semi. There's ChemBio and Neuro. And Robinhood doesn't have a ticker symbol yet that I can track. But look at where both of these sits as my stocks of interest towards the middle of the list, right? Neither one of them have good upside or safety. So neither one of these stocks are fundamental, but these are both news-driven. Let's talk about if it's worth to be in them, all right? So those are 2 of my 3. Let's go see if it's worth it. This is, you can tell, ChemBio is all news-driven. A lot of profit taken from yesterday's news. about that neurostimulator. No, this is ChemBio. This is going after, this is in the Alzheimer's space, I think. All right. Nonetheless, I'm not taking it yet. I love the 3 and the 8. I'm not taking it yet because there's a lot of profit taken. This is all news driven. If you weren't in it to catch the move prior to that, it's too late, I think, until the stock takes out the high. If this stock still has some good upside after the news, let the stock take out the high. I'm not touching it right now. Neuro, a lot of profit taking. Big closed candle, which means the price of the candle started up here and is now back here. Another profit taking stock. I love when these stocks move on news, but I'm also going to help you. Is it too late to get into it? Right now, I'm going to say yes until either one of these stocks take out their highs. Until either one of these stocks take out their highs. You can look at Neuro, do a Fibonacci, look at the 61.8 bounce. I waited for that. I waited for that confirmed bounce. I'm not ready to take it yet. All right, this stock's got to show me that it's got some upside. All right, it's got to show me that it's got some upside. All right, are you putting that in already?
I'm gonna try. I was waiting to see what you were gonna do. I was gonna have you talk to them about Ron's last webcast today at 4.
All right, so Ron Wheeler, who was on with us last week for the options paycheck course that's going on, but he's got a webcast today at 4 o'clock on our it's going to be on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. I put it in there. It should be.
It's a link. It's a free webcast. It's a free webcast that's going to be here on our YouTube channel. There it is. You can sign up. Joey put the link in there for you. Click on that sign up button on either for today. Today's the last day, 22nd. And it's a breakthrough system to generate safe monthly income in any market. Whether the market is bullish or bearish, it's a free webinar. I want VV Nation to support him. All right, and when you sign in to his webcast, his free webcast, sign in with hashtag VV Nation. Let him know that VV Nation is backing him up. All right, it is a free webcast, and it will be here on our YouTube channel. That link that Joey put in there, click the sign up button, sign up now, and you can sign up for it. All right.
You can hit your charge.
All right, so here we go. Anybody got any stories on my stocks of interest? I think I'm going to start doing that too. I'm going to start bringing up more stocks of interest as well. All right, here's my weekly watch list. Remember, I told you I'm going to do this a little differently. So as I put all your stocks in, before we look at the graphs, we're going to see where they all sit automatically from the power of a VectorVest watch list. All right, so you know what time it is? Which is? Oh, it's my cup. No, it's not my cup. I don't know what that is. Is it that? I got good hot sauce. All right. Let's put it right back. All right, let's go look at your stocks. Man, Joey got me clean up my desk.
Okay, look at this question first.
What's the question? Hi, Glenn. I am a premium VectorVest subscriber. How to see your Training Thursday watch list? I don't have a trending. I don't have it anywhere except for here. This is the only place that I have my Trending Thursday watch lists.
Yeah, but you can go below the video and see all the stocks that are in it.
Oh, if you go below the video, Andre, you can see all of the stocks that we're talking about in Trending Thursday. All right. All right, so let me start putting these in. MMAEH, comma Lakeland, comma Riot. Come on, feel the noise. That's Twisted Sister. TBK, comma TQQQ, comma REGI, comma DBA, comma LCRX, comma LC. Glenn, you got to do that again. LCRX. Really? LC, I know LRCX, LRCX, comma AN, comma. I can't put all of these stocks. You guys putting a lot of stocks. FLGT. They are all subscribers because those are the only people that can talk right now. CCIV, comma NVIDIA, comma Abbott Labs. They reported earnings today too. Alibaba, comma VXRT. I already put that in, Walter. I looked at, no, I didn't. VXRT, that was Novavax that I looked at, right? Alibaba I already put down. Scroll down and click show more. No, I'm not doing that. Stop it, Mark. IMPY. I'm already. Is that good? IMPY. We don't track. TMST. That's a steel company. Joey says that's it. I'm gonna hit the enter. I'm gonna hit the Diane, I got you. IMP. I know Joey. Y. There we go. All right. For anybody who stock that I did not put, go down to the bottom of this video. You will see a link for a free stock analysis report.
Also, let them know that if they want to get it picked on air, they can subscribe to the channel and we can choose it from those lists. Otherwise, you can't chat. Right?
All right, so only people that are giving me the stocks are the people that are subscribers to the channel.
That's right. So all the people that...
Also, all the people who are sitting in the background who can't get them typed in, oh, you got to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, Joey just made that change today. Ooh, yeah, I got to add one more. Sensionics. Why? Because that's a vein pick. I want to pick that. All right. So with that, nope.
I'll see you in a little bit.
I can handle all of this. Okay, I can handle all this now. All right, so with all of the stocks, we got 20 stocks in here. With all of the stocks, how about the top stock in the list is NVIDIA, and the worst stock in the list is ZKIM. How cool is that? By putting them into the watch list, we can see where all of your stocks, and everybody take a look. Everybody take a look. Look at where all your stocks sit. How cool is that? And we're going to do that every week now. You can very quickly see how good your picks were compared to everybody else's pick based on our master indicator VST. That in and of itself should make you want to stay every week to watch this portion of the video for seeing where your stocks sit. All right, let's go graph them all real quick and let's go through them. All right, NVIDIA, bottom left, top right, a little bit of a pullback, found a level of support sitting at 178.44. I like the bounce. Closed candle today. I wouldn't take it today because the price is lower than the open, but I like the setup. I love the setup on good volume. I'd make sure I buy on a good up day. I do have a profit target sitting at that high of about 208.75. There's my profit target right now. And once I get there, I take half the trade off. Or if I feel lucky, let it go and ride through that. But that's my first profit target right there. And if the stock goes against me after I gotten into it, this is my line in the sand. Let's go to the next one. AutoNation. It was rising. It fell. It's rising now. A little gappy. Gap, pull back, a little bit of a shooting star pattern with some follow through. I do like the 3.8 though. The 3.8 did a good job of getting you in before it broke through resistance. It broke through, came back, tested it as a level of support. Now moving up higher, I do have a shooting star pattern with some follow through. Be careful if you own it right now. Candlestick pattern is telling you got a possible change in sentiment. Next one, AMEH. Love the bottom left, top right. That's a good looking pick. Even when it pulled back, the 3 and the 8 pretty much kept you in it. Down day to day. If you own it, leave it alone. All right. Volume has been pretty steady. Love the earnings per share. This is a good pick. I like that. If I'm not in it now, I'd wait for it to go about 12 cents higher than the high. If I'm in it, leave it alone. Next one, Fulgent. Man, Fulgent is a little choppy in its move. All right. This is more of a trader stock than a long-term pick. I do like the bounce off support, the 3 and the 8 just crossing. Nice up day today. I wouldn't be adverse to getting into it today. I've got a profit target sitting at this level of resistance at 92.64. Gives me about $7 to make on this. Volume is pulling back a little bit. Be careful with that. And earnings are starting to fall. Be careful on that as well. LCRX, electronic semiconductor. Love the play that it broke through support. Now starting to rise for a couple of days. Open candle, a lot of selling pressure with the wick at the top of this candle. Stock sitting in the channel, though. Stock sitting in the channel. I like the rising volume. That's a good thing. I like the rising earnings. That's a good thing. But the stock overall is still sitting in the channel. I'd like to see the stock take out that high. I got a level of resistance at 654. Let's go to the next stock. Love that stock. Market's moving up. The TQQQ should be moving up as well. Bottom left, top right. Nice open candle for the last couple of days with the last 2 up days in the market. Wow, look at that. 3 solid days off of, what is that? Look at that. Hammer formation. Look at that. Running. Volume is pretty steady. Earnings per share are not going to show up on an ETF. Stocks in an uptrend. If you're not in it, though, I'd like to see it take out the high. If you are in it because you got in early because of the 3-8 cross, leave it alone. All right, next stock. Abbott Labs, earnings today. That was earnings. I knew it was earnings today. I don't know if they beat or not. A lot of buying pressure, open candle. The 3 and the 8 are closing and sitting in a little bit of a channel. A level of resistance at 120.33, a level of support at 116.35. I need the stock to break out of that channel. I like the 3 and the 8. If you're in it on an end-of-day basis, use the 3 and the 8 as a way to get out of the stock, even on an end-of-day basis. All right, let's go to the next one. That's all I got to say about that. Woo! I'm not feeling that at all. That graph tells me everything I need to know. I like the rebound. All right, don't get me wrong. Where's my mouse? I like the rebound, but a down day, the 3 and 8 are still negative. That's enough for me to say I'm not feeling that stock. And even when it does bounce, it does go up to this level of resistance at 1790. It's done that several times before it's pulled back. I'm not feeling this stock at all. It's too much downward play. All right. Renewable energy, I like this stock in that renewable space, in the clean energy space. Right now, sitting in a channel. It broke out of the channel yesterday, and look at where it's right back now. Back in the channel, the 3 and the 8 are still bullish. Now, if you still own the stock, leave it alone. Leave it alone. A down day doesn't mean that it's time to sweat, especially because the 3 and the 8 are still good. Leave it alone. If I'm not in it, though, this stock's got to get out of its own way before I pull the trigger on it. Next one, TBK, also sitting in a little bit of a channel, coming off this level of a low. A rebound day. Look at the stock's price started down here. Open candle, rebound day. I like that. But I need this stock it's got 2 headwinds to go through, and that's an earnings play today. It's got 2 headwinds to go through. It's got a level of resistance at 77.86. It's got a level of resistance at 79.91. Once it can break through both of those, the stock's got a good upside potential up to about 94.93. All right, so I'm not feeling it just yet. I like the open candle. I like the positive earnings. Oh, hush up. All right, I like the both of those things, but I need the stock to come to me. All right, that's my opinion. I like the rising earnings as well. I need the stock to come to me. All right, what else is in here? Lakeland, I like the bounce off support, a good solid level of support. Hit here, 3.8. Notice that when the stock's price pulled back, the 3.8 pretty much held. Still keeping you in. Big down day, the 3 and the 8 held. Where's it stopping? Right at the level of 24.61, which is a solid level of resistance. I'd like to see it go above there. And then there's got another level of resistance on the stock sitting at about 26.14. All right, it's got 2 levels. Once it gets past both of those, man, the stock's got some clear sailing, but it's got to get out of this downward sideways move. All right, it's got to get out of this downward sideways move. It stopped today right at that level of 24.61, which is the current level of resistance. Next one, let's go see what else is here. TMST, steel was rocking. Remember when steel was rocking? Ooh-wee, it stopped rocking. You know, when the steel comes a-rocking, you don't be doing no knocking. Right now, I can knock because it ain't rocking. All right, looking at that high, look at the downward trend. There's it. Folks, a lot of times you may like a stock, you may feel good about a stock, but the graph don't lie. The graph don't lie. That's all I got to say about it. So whoever gave me TMST, even if you want to talk yourself into it, I got lower lows, I got lower highs. Look at that. I got lower lows, I got lower highs. I'm not feeling this. Now, I will say that it's a fallen wedge, a falling channel, which possibly could be a bullish inclination. I need the stock to break out of this channel. I need the stock to break out of this channel. All right? And the Underbelly Group says, I'm all about setups now. And a lot of these stocks that I'm looking at for you, I'm looking at setups, whether they're there or not, right? I do like the rising earnings on TMST, but I don't like the graph. And if this is a bullish graph, could be a possible bullish graph, let the stock show me something bullish first. Show me something good. I need it to show me something good. It's not tell me something good. I need it to show me something good. All right, let's go to the next one. Wow, DBA. I like this stock has fallen, it's risen off of a solid level of support. Look at that, which is about 1757. All right, look at the run, the 3.8, early move in. I love looking at the 3 and the 8, folks. Early move in when the 3 and the 8 cross bullish. Look at the stock hasn't looked back. The stock hasn't looked back. Relative timing is running. I like this stock, folks. I like this stock. All right, I like this rebound. The graph is ugly. The graph is pretty choppy, but right now is getting in. I like it. I've got a sell point at $19.36. All right, which is the 3-month high. All right, what else do I have here? Oof, Riot. What do you want me to say? You want me to tell you it's good? I can't do it. Look at it. The stock's in a downtrend. The earnings are there. I like that. But the news behind blockchain, the news behind crypto is not just good, and this is feeling the effects of it. I like the bounce. The 3 and the 8 is still negative, though. The 3 and the 8 is still negative. I like the bounce. So now, this is a good learning point. You can hear good news. You can see a graph. I see the bounce. I see a possible hammer. What other confirmation do I have? None. The stock hasn't come to me. What would be my confirmation of that hammer pattern? The 3 and the 8 crossing bullish. Then I'd have 2 things to look at. Right now, aggressively, I'm only looking at one thing, the bounce off support and the candlestick pattern. Let the stock come to you. Next setup, the trigger. So this is the setup. What's the trigger? The 3 going above the 8. Does everybody in the room understand that, folks? I'm going to wait for a minute to see if everybody in this room is picking up on what I'm putting down. This is the setup. Bouncing off support. Hammer. The trigger is the 3 and the 8. The trigger is the 3 and the 8. Is that what I want to make sure that you guys understand the difference between the setup and the trigger? All right, folks. Show me that you love me, says DM for Profit. I guess so. All right, that's the way I can answer. I guess so. All right. Zoom in. No, I don't want to zoom in. I want to keep it at a 3-month graph, Underbelly Group. I like having the 3-month picture in view. I like having the 3-month picture in view. All right. Trigger and candle when 3 is over the 8. The trigger is the 3 going over the 8. The setup is a bounce off of support or a candlestick formation. Let's go see if we can do that again. All right. So Senseonics. I love this stock. I own it. I believe it's one of my stocks that I own. I love this. It's either this or TNXP. This is a stock that's going after diabetes as an implantable device to check your blood sugar. I've been talking about this stock even as the stock has fallen. I like the bounce. Setup. Boom. There's the bounce. Here's the trigger. 3-8 cross. Now, let's say I pull the trigger here and I'm in it. I'm still okay. I got a down day today, but the 3 and the 8 still bullish. RT still above 1. All right, I'm still okay. If I'm getting in on the 3-8 on the end of day basis, I can pull the trigger to get out on the 3-8 cross bearish on an end of day basis. All right. Thank you, Sue. Sue says, you're the 3-8 MA man. It's not MA, it's actually EMA. It's an EMA, Sue. All right. So let's go to the next one. Woo! Again, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? The stock is telling me all I need to know. Look at the graph. All right. Stock's in a downtrend. I need the downtrend to go away. Let's go to freehand line. I need the downtrend to go away. Let's connect these highs. Oh yeah, that's a good downtrend. That's all I need to say about it. Now, could I agree? I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing setting up. I got no 3H. I got nothing. Let the stock show me something first before I even think about getting in. Big trigger is I'd like to see the stock break above that trend line. Oof, this is all over the place. China and the United States are talking about what stocks they want to get off of the internet and their stuff, blah, blah, blah. Alibaba's caught up in it. I like the bounce. I like the 3-8, but where did it stop? It stopped right at that level of resistance. Look at that. Look at that. Stop. Look at that wick. Stop right at that level of 217.12. It's a beautiful level of resistance. Stock's got to break through that and this other level of resistance right here. All right. Show me something good. Down, down. VXRT. Here's the setup. Level of support. Close to that zone. Bounced. Where's the trigger? There's the 3.8. Bingo. What's the stock doing? It's moving up. If you're in it, leave it alone. If you're not, 5 cents higher than the high. There's the set. There it is, right there. Now, you know what else I'd like? I'd like to see RT go above 1. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm playing price action. Price action looks good. All right, hopefully you guys are picking up what I'm putting down today. CCIV was looked at in one of these stories. Lucid Motors, Saudi Arabia, big play with CCIV. Right now, it was moving. Right now, it's pulled back. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Look at the downtrend. I need the downtrend to be broken. Down day to day, 3 and 8 are negative. Here's my level of support. Let's see if that level of support can hold if the stock's price goes down. Last stock, woo. What do you want me to say? The graph is telling me everything I need to know. What do you want me to say? Fallen earnings, too. Look at that stair step down. All right, there you go. And you know something? If you put it up here for me to look at so I can talk you into it, nope, ain't doing it. Sure ain't. Nope. All right, these are all the stocks. And again, I'm going to do this on a weekly basis. I love the idea of when you give me the stocks that we put them into this watch list, and now you can see where all of your stocks sit compared to everybody else's stock. That's going to be the first point. And again, that's the value of having the VectorVest software, of which we offer to you in this video, 99 cents for a 30-day trial. You want to be able to take your stocks and do this same thing, 99 cents for a 30-day trial. All right, how many likes did we get today?
74.
Let's get, how many people we have?
163 now. We had 12.
Yo, let's go see if we can get up to 125 likes before I leave. If you found this video today, this live stream, useful to you, especially talking about a couple of things here, looking at the setups on these graphs and the trigger points, okay? Talking about the power of the VectorVest software and looking at a watch list of stocks and how the software automatically starts to do the work for you. This has got to be worth at least 125 likes. It's got to be. Now, if not, and I was just here and I wasted my time, I'm not saying that. You know me, I never will. No matter what I get as far as likes, it is what it is. But today was a good day in that we looked at a lot of good stories, we looked at a lot of good stocks, and we made some good, intelligible decisions using the VectorVest software. All right? We're not a one-trick pony, folks. We don't just talk about one stock, and that's what a lot of what goes on YouTube. Am I saying that we're better than everybody? No. What I am saying is that we bring value to what we do. All right, show us, 94 likes. Let's see if we really can get up to 125. All right, I think that it would be if you really felt that this was useful to you, let me know. All right. So with that, if you haven't already, again, for those people who weren't able to chat today, you can still see we turned on a feature that says that in order to chat, you've got to subscribe to the channel. And if you think that's a cheap way to get you to subscribe to the channel, I don't care. All right. We want to support the people who are supporting us. You support the channel, you can type in and we can get those stocks typed in. All right. Hit the bell icon. Hit the bell icon so that anytime we go live or we have new content, you get alerted. Remember, we've got 2 channels. Subscribe to both of them. How many likes did we get? 96. It is all it is. I wanted to get 125. If we don't get them, we don't get them. All right. But I like what we have. Underlying Belly Group says, laugh out loud, do keep it real. Listen, all I have is my integrity. All right, I'm just a YouTuber on here to provide you guys with good information. All I got is my integrity. You'll either like it or you won't. All right, but I want to keep it real. That's the only way to do business. And that's what my daddy taught me. It's the only way to do business. So I'm feeling inflation, but Fed downplaying it. I've been feeling inflation for the longest time. I've been talking about it. I don't think it's transitory. But you got to believe what you got to believe. I think inflation is an issue. I think it's an issue. And in my personal opinion, they're going to have to raise interest rates a little quicker than they anticipate. That's what I think. All right, that's that. But I'm not the Fed, and I'm not the guy that makes the decision. All right, that's just my feeling. That's just my feeling. All right, we got a 103. Thank you, John. We did get 103. I'll take it. I'll take it. And Mark, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I love it. And again, we never ask for that. And Mark, you do. Everybody's got the capability of doing that if you want to, but you'll never hear me ask you for it. All right, because we don't. That's not how we live or die. Thank you. I continue. I combine VectorVest with my broker. Powerful stuff. Take care all. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate it. Glenn, you are not wasting your time. You are learning, and for that, you have to pay us one cup. Will do. Why is everybody trying to get my cup? Why is everybody trying to get my money? All right. So with that, folks, Joey, thank you for doing all that you do. I do appreciate it because it's tough. I know it's tough. It is. There's a lot to do. So while you were enjoying yourself in Disney World, I had to do it all by myself. I was scared as the dickens. You synced it. All right. So, folks, until the next time, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.